This is the campsite I think I'm gonna set up in. Nice pine forest. This is Francis Marion National Forest, but a little bit farther out of the swamp than last time. I think those two trees are gonna be perfect for my hammock. So after the debacle last time with the bugs, obviously I'm further out of the swamp, but got some bug spray. That should help. And I actually picked up a bug net for my hammock. Should hopefully keep them off. Never used it before, but we will see. All right, so I finally gotten camp set up here, as you probably saw a little bit earlier. Got the hammock set up, all bug net. It's about 85 degrees, so um, it's nice having a little bit of a breeze, but it's supposed to get down a little bit chilly. Not chilly enough that I'm going to start a fire. As you can see, there's plenty of deadfall around here, but I don't know if you can see here all this black bark here. There's definitely been forest fires around here. I I'll make a fire in the pine forest, but I'm definitely very cautious, and I have to definitely be careful. But as you can see around here, this is pretty much just a tinder box waiting to happen. In fact, we got a couple of stumps here that, well, those have obviously burnt down. So, beautiful location, nice little breeze on this sort of warm March day. But I don't think unless I'm really desperate, I'm going to be building a fire. Got a new stove. I'll be breaking out later, showing you. But for now, this is the view from the campsite. Well, been walking around for about an hour, maybe hour and a half, and I thought I was doing pretty good, but here we are. We got another piece of trash. We'll be bringing that one home. All right. Um, Got asked in the last video, where I was, a little bit more history on it. So I figured I'd go into a little bit of history. I am, as you know, I've said, in Francis Marion National Forest. This is a wonderful piece of land, just basically on the northern coast of um, and north on the coast north of Charleston. Pretty extensive, swamps in the Low Country here. Um, Now, I was asked, who's this Francis Marion guy? Well, he's actually a Revolutionary War hero. Not too many people know about him, but in the Carolinas, he's sort of a folk hero. So much so that he's got, of course, a national forest named after him. Where I'm standing, generally, not the exact location of any, skirmishes that I know of. Specifically in this site, but this area where we're at was basically a place where, after the fall of Charleston, Francis Marion organized the defense of the Low Country. Basically, he took part in the unfortunately failed defense of Charleston. The British took the port, but in order to access all of the plantations around here, which kept the British basically fed. I mean, Low Country plantations grew rice, not so much sugar or tobacco. That was sort of in different parts, but a lot of food came out of South Carolina, and not only feeding obviously the troops, but all of the very lucrative plantations down in the Caribbean. Obviously, you take away the food for the slaves in the Caribbean sugar plantations, you're losing sugar potential, productivity, and money. Ultimately, so basically Francis Marion acted as a thorn in the side of the British, acting basically guerrilla warfare. He's credited really with being the granddaddy of guerrilla warfare and asymmetrical warfare. Um, Green Berets say that he's pretty much a influence on their development. But yeah, between 1780 and 81, before the end of the war, before British were ultimately ousted out of the Low Country here, he acted as a wonderful guerrilla, being just a pain in the butt for the British, and also acted really primarily as an intelligence gatherer. So, passing on all these sorts of intel up the chain to Washington and the Continental Army. So, nice little tidbit. Nice, nice being out in the woods, but nice also being in a nice historic part of the world. All right, just been reading for a little while. Figure it's about time to have a nice little cup of tea. This is that stove. This is a little alcohol stove I got. It's from Red Camp, you know, just sort of basic Amazon sort of camping gear, but I don't know if you can see that. Sort of, this is the little burner. This, if I can get it off here. This is a little thing you use to put it out afterwards, but it's a little alcohol burner. Not sure if I'm in frame, sorry. Got some alcohol in here, basically called demethylated or methylated spirits, excuse me, denatured alcohol. It's called all sorts of different stuff, but got that. I'm gonna have some orange spice tea. Try and get all this stuff out of here, but try not to disturb too much here. You know, if I can help it, of course. So this is my little fire bag. In here I always keep all the necessities of fire starting, but got a little bit of wind, but I'm not too worried about that once this thing goes. That's going. Just got this little, basically Walmart mess tin. First time I'm using that, obviously. So I don't know what I'm doing. But should be okay. All right, it's getting to be about 6 here. So I figured, you know, I'm getting hungry. Time to make some food. Going much less elaborate this time. Got one of these Mountain House meals. There you can see it. Never had these before. I hope they're good because this thing was like $9. Could be real nice and convenient if it's good, but well, you know, we'll see. Nice and light. Got some water on the boil for dinner. These things, I don't know if you've seen them before. Just basically add like a cup and a half, 2 cups of water, boiling water, and let it sit there for like 10 minutes, and basically just rehydrates everything. So we'll see. Hopefully it's nice and good. So that's what it looks like. It smells awesome after today. So we'll see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think that this is a win. You know, we'll see what the other recipes are, but this lasagna with meat sauce. It's sort of like one of those like hamburger helper type meals. You know, you got the noodles, you got the sauce. It's really not lasagna, but it's really good. I think. I mean, I'm pretty simple when it comes to food. Got some tea here as usual. No booze, not on this one. But got some tea. This teacup, as I'm sure you can see, mess kits from Walmart. This is definitely going to be the first thing that goes. I mean, this canned cup sucks, frankly, but it does the job in the meantime. So we'll see. But I'm going to keep tucking in. All right. It's about time to hunker down here. Sun setting here. Showed you the hammock. It's pretty nice out. So I'm just going to sleep in with my little wool blanket here. I've got more layers if I get cold, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. Should be just fine. It's only supposed to be about 65 as a low, but just loving that sunset. Good morning. About 8 a.m. I was able to sleep in, which is nice. But we got some weather blowing in. So I hope there's not too much wind noise, but about 10 to 15 mile per hour gusts every once in a while. So slept really well. Wind sort of cut a little bit this morning. Woke up a little bit cold, but gonna remedy that shortly with some breakfast. All right, so I'm continuing in the theme of being as lazy as possible. Got some oatmeal. That should hopefully not make a mess. And some Taster's Choice. I've had this before. It's not too bad. Not great, not terrible, as the meme says. Properly made camp oatmeal should be so thick that you can stick your spoon up in it. That is proper oatmeal. All right. Breakfast was excellent. Cleaned my plate. Probably not going to worry about dishes too much. As you can probably tell, we got something blowing in here, so probably just going to pack up, get on out of here. It's been a good camp trip, getting out here in the woods, getting away from it, with all of the coronavirus stuff going on, I figure this is the best self-isolation or social distancing that you can do. So, um, you know, get out in the woods, do something. Um, if you are in cities at this point, definitely just take care of your neighbor. Don't be a dick and hoard stuff. You see it all the time. You know, toilet paper's not gonna solve your coronavirus. Trust me. So yeah, don't be a dick. Just take care of neighbors, especially your elderly neighbors. Go shopping for them. Do whatever you can. Um, but if you can, this is the perfect time to get out in the woods. You got the perfect excuse, and it's been lovely. Um, so before this storm rolls in too hard, they said I'm gonna pack up and get out of here and get ready for another week.